Hi, y'all. I just wanted to share what my breast cancer journey was. May 4th of 2023, I went to the hospital because I had this crazy cardiac arrhythmia. Um, and I was having shortness of breath. I didn't know if I was having a heart attack, to be honest. So I went to the ER and I was throwing PVCs and PACs. And as part of the workup that they did on me, they did a CT scan of my chest, and that came back finding an enlarged lymph node, and they couldn't tell if it was neoplastic in nature, meaning it needed further looking at to determine whether it would be cancer or not. 2 weeks after my hospitalization, I finally get in to see my primary doctor. Actually, it was a nurse practitioner, and she said, I can refer you right away to a breast surgeon, or we can order the ultrasound. And I was like, breast surgeon? I was thinking lymphoma. And I was like, I guess it could be breast cancer, being that the breast is right there. And she's like, yeah. And so I said, well, let's just go with the CT because I go see her. She's going to want the ultrasound and um, save some time. Just do the ultrasound, and it was confirmed that it is very suspicious. It needed a biopsy. So then I was referred to the breast surgeon. She ordered the biopsy, and it came back estrogen and progesterone receptor positive. And I had to wait another week or two, I forget exactly how long, for the HER2 results to come in. When they came in, she told me that they were equivocal and that she was counting that as negative. So then, like a week later, I go and have my team meeting, and my medical oncologist asks me to tell her everything that I know. And I said, blah, blah, blah. And she mentions HER2. And I said, and I'm HER2 negative. And she just looked at me and said, who told you that? And I was like, my breast surgeon. She told me that. And she told me, nope, you are HER2 positive. So because the reading on the HER2 test was equivocal, they do further testing to determine whether it's positive or negative. So I had to have 6 weeks of chemo, TCHP. I think it's Taxotere, carboplatin, Herceptin, and Perjeta. The first two drugs are the chemo drugs, and the second two drugs are anti-HER2 drugs. And after the chemo, which I finished in November of 23, I was supposed to have surgery in December, but I got COVID, so I didn't have surgery until January. And I started radiation in February. I had a mammogram done of my left breast, and that resulted in me needing 2 different biopsies. And I said, nope, I'm done. You're going to take my left breast too. But I had to wait until September ultimately. But the pathology, once you have tissue removed for anything, they test it, and I still had residual cancer in my lymph nodes. By the way, all the screening that I had done before chemo started never showed a tumor in my right breast. So I had what's called occult breast cancer, which less than 1% of the population that are diagnosed with breast cancer get. Yay me! I love being a unicorn. So then they took my breast, and they still didn't really find anything definitive, but I had residual chemo cancer in my lymph node, so I had to do more chemo. So I had to do 14 rounds of Kadcyla, which is part chemo and part Herceptin, which is also, again, the anti-HER2 medicine. And I finished that March of this year, there was a couple of delays because I thought I was having surgery in June or July of 24. So I was off to prepare for that. And then I didn't have that surgery until September. So then I was off for that. And I was having hematoma issues with in my right side. And so I was off for a good little while. But now I'm completely done with that treatment, and I'm on the aromatase inhibitors because I'm hormone receptor positive. And I have to be on that for like 5 years. So we'll see how that goes. I'm actually on a break right now because my joints are all achy and painful. So we're switching, and I had to stop to get the one out of the system before we started the next one. And I am running my very first 5K tomorrow morning, and I'm pretty excited. I'm going to run it without a shirt on, if the organizers let me, that is. But that's my plan. More later. Talk to you later. Bye.